Hi guys, Toasty Ninja here. Not uploaded any videos to my channel for a while, so what I'm going to do is I thought I'd get back into the swing of things with some Open TTD. If it's a game you've never played before, recommend you check it out. What it is it's about essentially start your own transport company and have to make it as successful as possible. You can see in the background there you get trains, planes, boats, trucks. You can transport people, goods, mail, all kinds of different stuff to make money. And expand and expand and expand. What I'm going to do here is to show you some real basics, how to start up a game for yourself. It can be slightly complicated, but this game's totally free, so you guys should really check it out. 10 out of 10 would recommend, would play. So when you're starting your basic game, like every game, you go for a new game. You've got your options here. You've got new game, load game, play scenario. Scenarios are like pre-made maps. You can do like Isle of Man if you're from Britain, or like Isle of Wight, things like that, and you have to then build on that. Hype map, never really used that one. Scenario editor, you can make your own scenarios up. Multiplayer, again, play with some friends online. You can start your own servers, or you can just go join ones that are already running. Game options, you can go in there, change things. You can change your currency, like because I'm from Scotland, it's going to be pounds. Metric units, you get imperial, whatever, like tons, things like that. Which side of the road the vehicles drive on. I shouldn't change that because they drive on the left in Britain. Town names, English, or you can get Czechoslovakian, Germany, whatever country you're from. Autosave every month in game. Language, screen options, the graphics. Now, I've left it on basic graphics, but I have got another graphics sort of mod, if you will. You get mods for free in this. It's Z-Base, but I'm just going to use OpenGFX just now. Same with the sounds, you can change the sounds and the music. So there's advanced settings. You can change, interface, how far like signals and things are left apart, but we'll go into that another time. GRF settings. Again, you can add different things. You can actually add different industries and things later on. Online content, that's where you get your free sort of stuff. Your high score table, don't really bother with that personally. So I just goof about on this, but if you're a serious player, you can go into that. So we're gonna start a new game. Now you get 4 choices of worlds. You get a sort of grassland, which is rivers, grass, trees, shit like that. You can get sort of like an Alaskan sort of outlet. It's like snowy. There's trees. You get different materials and that in different places as well. For example, you get things like gold in the subarctic one. In the desert one, you can get things like diamonds. That be transported to a bank. And then you get the one that no one ever plays, or I never play, is Candyland, where it's just there's chocolate mines and stuff. It's just kind of goofy, and I don't like it very much. So we'll go for just the normal sort of Greenland there. And your map size. Now I like to play on a big map, because it gives you more choice to do different things, different sort of layouts, that kind of stuff. Normal town, normal. Yeah, number of towns, terrain type very flat. Better for train lines, things like that. Sea level very low, blah blah blah. Date. Now you can set the date. You can start all the way back in like 1920s. I'll start in the 50s. Start the 40s. Start the 40s. 1940. Industries normal. Smoothness. Blah blah blah. Map edges. Yep. So you can actually. I usually play on an island. You can play on it like, it's one edge water, things like that. I always play on an island. So let's go for 1024, and we'll generate the map. Takes a little while. There we go. Now you see, this is our map. As you can see, all the way around, it's an island. You've got little ponds and ponds, lakes in the middle. Your cities, like that. Your cities. Different industries dotted about. That kind of thing. What you need to do is to start somewhere you think you're going to make a lot of money, to then expand into some of the places where you won't make quite as much money. But we'll go into that again in the next episode. Along the top here, we've got different options. We've got your pause button, pauses the game. Your speed up button, things are going wild. Speeds up the gameplay if things are taking a little bit too long. Your options, game options, advanced settings, transparency, game options. You can change all that stuff in game, change your effects and all that. This one's the most important one, the transparency options. I always have it on because it makes it easier to build and connect track and things, but you can actually turn trees on and off, or have them like ghost trees, like that. Same with buildings. Cities, you can do the same thing with cities. You know, signposts. Industries, you can hide industries. Train stations, bridges, you know, all that kind of stuff. Radio towers, track, trains, you can hide all that kind of stuff. I only really use it for the trees. It helps you connect things like track, things further down the line, you know, when things get a bit more complicated. You can hide town names, station names, waypoints, all that kind of stuff, you know, if you're that way inclined. Next up, you've got your, you know, save, load, abandon or exit. Now, abandon and exit is slightly different. Exit takes you to Windows, your desktop, or whatever. Abandon takes you back to your front menu. You've got a map. Now, this map will show you things like your tracks and things like that once you start laying stuff. You know, you've got a wee key there, roads, railways, stations, different colours, show you what they are. You can actually, you know, take different things in and out, show your little trucks moving about, all that kind of stuff. Town list and population. Now, populations of cities grow when they've been supplied with certain things. I've always found, like, some need mail and post, whatever. They grow. The bigger they grow, the more people in them, and you can start putting train stations and actually making a lot of money transporting a lot of passengers. You can, if you're going to do passengers, start in a city or a town that's got a high population, because, you know, like Banpool or Benham, you know, half the work's already done for you. It depends what kind of thing you're into. There's subsidies. Now, subsidies are things that won't make you money, but you get paid money to do them, if that makes sense. What you do is say, two small towns need mail taken between the two of them. You set up that route of mail. What it does is they pay you. You get very little money from the job you're doing, but they subsidise the money until it gets busier and busier, and eventually the business will pick up and you'll be making plenty of money off it, and the subsidies will stop. It encourages you to start sort of improving business in other places. You know, station list. I ain't got no stations, so none there. This is the best part. This is how you get to name your company, and you get to, you know, make a new face and everything for your manager. That's one with the wee face at the top there. A new face. I've got a pre-saved face. That's one I always use. Your colour scheme for your company. Let's go for red, because green, you lose it in the trees and shit. Manager name. Let's call him Toasty Ninja. Let's call him T-Ninja. T-Ninja. Okay, and your company name. T-Ninja Transport. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that just now. So that's our setup. We've now got a manager and a company name and a colour. We can build an HQ, but we'll do that in the next one when we're sort of laying track and doing stations and things. Next up, you got your charts, graphs. You know, obviously not making any money right now, so, you know, there's nothing there. There's a dot showing what I'm currently at. I'm losing money by playing this and not building anything. You've got all different kinds. You've got operating profit, income, delivered cargo, all that kind of stuff, different graphs. I mean, this is the most important one, the operating profit graph. It shows how much profit you're making. Leaderboards in-game, or league table. Also, I'm an engineer, you know, because my business hasn't started, but once it gets up, you know, it becomes CEO, director, things like that. Also, if there's other players in the game, they appear. Industries, shows you where the industries are, how much of their goods you've transported, how much is sitting waiting to be transported. Industry chains. If you're struggling for something, you're not sure what the chain is, you can find out what the chain is. For example, valuables such as diamonds and gold, they aren't in this map, but in a different type of map. They get taken to the bank. You know, in this version, banks transfer valuables to other banks, so you have to buy an armoured car, transport it there, build truck stations, things like that. You know, you can also select the industry on the map and find out what it does. So, what's this? Iron, a steel mill. You know, display chain. So it shows you here, you take iron ore from a mine to the steel mill. It produces steel, which then goes to a factory. Then when it goes to the factory then produces goods which go to the town or city or whatever. And you can, you know, you build up massive chains of businesses. So you can control the whole thing. Next up, you've got your listings of trains. Not got any, but it shows you, you know, all the trains you own. You can rename trains and things like that and group them all together. I tend to do that if I've got like coal trains or iron trains. I always group them all together. You know, then you've got your trucks, boats, and planes. Zoom in and out. Now, here's your build tools. The train track one allows you to build track. You know, select your station. You know, different kinds of track. Remove track. Depots. Signals, bridges, tunnels. Same with the roads, you know, depot, stations, one-way system. You can work that out later on. Bridges, tunnels, boats. Boats are a bit more complicated. You know, they've got the depot, they've got docks, buoys, different bridges and things like. They've got water bridges, a bit complicated, but we'll go into that again another time. And airports, dead easy. You place the airport down, you place another airport, and you just get the two planes to fly between the two. Landscaping, you can move things up and down, you know, move the roads down, move them up, or level out. If this bit here you need to be completely flat, levels it out completely. You can buy land as well. Previously, as towns and that expand, you know, let's hide these trees real quick. Towns expand, they will build houses out into these areas here, you know, around all this stuff here. You can buy the land with these signs. That means nothing can be built there unless you build on it. So if you're building a small airport and the town grows bigger and you want to build a bigger airport, you're going to have to put it on the outside. Whereas if you want to put it in the middle, you buy all the land around it and the town grows around that area. So when you build on it, you've got the space. You can place trees. Handy for when you piss off a town. Nen Hill here. Let's see what they think of me. Local authority. Very good. Pretty good. If you really build a lot of building, or you know, build over roads, destroy houses and things, they will come to hate you. You can sweeten them up by, you know, putting trees back down, things like that. Or if you're supplying them with a service, they might be pissed off to start with. They cheer up a bit later on. You know, if you're delivering mail, you can get kind of annoyed. Get a little bit better later on. You know, the simplest way is just spam trees. It keeps them happy. Sound options, you know, your music. Or your effects, things like trains, things like that. You can change the music, you know, old style kind of music, you know. Personal favourite line, new style. Get the idea, you know, more sort of classy music. Sound options. Different things down here. This is like a newspaper, so you can find out information about it. When you send trucks to different places, it comes up with a wee message like that. If there's an accident, like a train or a plane crash, new things like that. For example, new oil refinery under construction. Tells you about that kind of stuff. It keeps you sort of in the know. You click on it, takes you to where it's going. So if you're going to maybe think about building an oil refinery there, you can go into that. In this industry one as well, you can fund new industries. It's something I never really do because you can't place it. You can build, you know, fund an oil refinery, but it can be built anywhere. You don't get to say, right, I'm going to build it here. It will be built somewhere on the map where there's a space for an oil refinery, and you have to find a way of getting your goods there. Kind of a good thing, kind of not a good thing. If there's not a lot of one thing, you can gamble it and it might land where you want it. You can go to your message history, different things, you know, decreases 12%, decreases 10%. It tells you if businesses are going to increase or decrease in demand, which can help you later on through the game. Businesses will disappear if you're not, you know, transporting enough goods. If I wasn't transporting enough of this, say this coal mines stuff, eventually it would vanish, and all my work to building up a network would be wasted. So you have to try and think of it, you know, in the future. This one's got 126 tons of coal waiting to be transported. You know, this ore mine's got 90%. You know, 90 tons of 90 tons of iron ore to be, you know, transported. You know, it's not going to have a lot, so you can't set up a huge chain off that to start with. Eventually, if it gets more productive, then yeah, the coal one would be a better one to start with, because, you know, you've got a lot of options and a lot of stuff to make you money. Final one is like question mark. You know, you can take screenshots, you know, about Open TTD basic information, or you can click it and click different things. It tells you about them: oil well, coordinates, local name, who owns it. You know, if there's like, you know, the woods here, forest owner. You know, things like that. It's just really basic information. Gives you some sort of help with certain things if you're not sure what they are. Well, guys, that's the real sort of starter basics of Open TTD. What we'll do next time is we will sort of maybe start building some stuff or go over some industries and see what happens. Thanks for watching. If you're interested, please check out my next video or the rest of the videos on my channel and subscribe for more of this sort of content. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you later.